Good morning, Book of Face. I hope you're staying hydrated on this hot day and you're traveling safely wherever you are in the world. But that doesn't mean you're not taking risks and having adventures. It is Trudy here. You may know me as Trudy or Sparkles or Global Sparkles. Either way, I am here today to talk about shame. Yesterday, I put up a post, and I've got it written down here so I say it properly. Guilt is about what you did and shame is about who you are. And somebody asked me, hi Carol, Catherine and Sheridan, thanks for joining me. Somebody asked me how to let go of shame. Now, we can make it as complex as we want because as human beings, we like to make things challenging and difficult and da-da-da. But I've got a few things I want to share because shame was a huge part of my life. Now, shame became a part of my identity. Now, how this happens for us is going to vary, right? You know, we might be shamed because we didn't conform to what everyone else said that we should, and we felt guilty for not behaving in a way that maybe our parents or our teachers said we should as a young age. We're not following the traditional pathway, so we feel guilty about that, and then we go, I should be ashamed of myself, I'm not towing the line. Shame also comes from not standing up for ourselves and not conforming and not fighting back. And a huge thing that was for me because of past traumatic experiences is I'm a bad person, I should be ashamed of myself, bad things happened because I was bad and blah, blah, blah. So wherever your shame has come from, going into 2020 is, well, even today, because we've still got a few days before 2020 officially starts, now is the good time to let it go. But how do you do that? Because how annoying is it when some bright, perky coach comes on and goes, just let it go? No. There are things that you can do, and there's a couple of things. Being aware of how I was processing shame and how I was creating it as an identity for myself really helped me let it go. Because I've done some crazy shit in my life, and I'm sure you've done some crazy shit in your life. Things don't always work out the way that we want them to, and that's okay. Now, things happen to us, things happen around us. But a belief that I have is that everybody is doing the best that they can in each moment of time with the resources, beliefs, values, and experiences that we have in our life. Now, I've had discussions around this that people say that pedophiles and murderers and abusers aren't doing their best. But having been abused by pedophiles and having had a lot of trauma, I actually believe that they are, because people inherit trauma from family. It gets carried down the generational line. It actually impacts you genetically. So while I don't say it's right, I understand that sometimes people behave certain ways. And we are more than the sum of what has happened to us. Hi, Stephen Hunt, how are you? We are more than the sum of what has happened to us. But as human beings, we tend to identify these things, especially when these things happen to us when we're young. And then these things tie into our self-worth and our belief around, are we worthy? So for me as a child, traumatic abuse things, we don't need to go into those details, but I adopted an identity of victim, of bad person, of this happened to me and I'm not worthy of feeling good. Things were shown to me and taught to me, and I felt shame around these things. Now, as a child, I didn't know how to really fight back and push back. So I carried that shame and transferred it into all of my life, right? Well, not all of it now, I've let it go. But we ultimately have this moment, right? The past is gone, the past is done. You can go back and filter for lessons and experiences, But we are not the sum of that only. We can take that as a lesson and we can start deciding in every present moment that we are different, that we are better than the past, that we can let go of the shame. And for me, that really starts with our identity and the beliefs that we've formed around all of those experiences, the things we have shame about. A huge thing was, you know what, I'm just going to say, because I'm not actually ashamed of it, was around masturbation, right? Raised Catholic, taught how to masturbate as a child, lots of shame and stuff around that, massive impact around my sexuality growing up. But that's happened now. What do I want to make of it? And whatever's happened to you to cause you shame in your life, it's like, what meaning in this moment do I want to give it? What can I change in me? And what belief can I change in me? What radical self-responsibility can I take for my life now moving forward that can allow me to let go of this shame? And it starts with the I am statements. I am worthy. I am a good person. I am kind. Because mistakes are only mistakes if we don't learn from them. If we keep repeating them and keep perpetuating it and we don't look for ways to step into a place of cause and take radical responsibility for our lives, that's where the problem is. It's not that something happened. So it's finding ways to shift your identity around it, shift your beliefs around it. It starts with a simple I am statements. It's getting the support if they're big things that have happened. So I've had a lot of support to heal from the past and the traumas and the things, and to come to this space where, you know what, I'm pretty good. I've done stupid shit. I'm not ashamed anymore though. Took drugs for years, partied, could have had a house, snorted it, dropped it, rocked on with it instead. Should I be ashamed of that? Because in those moments, I was making the best decisions I could for me to feel good in my life. Now I make different decisions. Life is a series of decisions, and then from those decisions come choices. So we can go a really complicated path around removing shame, letting it go, or we can decide maybe it's time for life to be easy. It's time to simplify this shit. Maybe we don't need 10 years of coaching on the same topic, going round and round and round in circles, because, you know, that just myelinates the shame pathways. Look back, get the lesson, decide what you want, make the choices to move on. And I know there's going to be people that are probably going to say, you're oversimplifying it, it's not that easy. And people like to fight for their limitations. I used to. I'm depressed. That's who I am. I'm miserable. I'm never going to be happy. Stop fighting for your limitations and start choosing your happiness. Start choosing the joy. Start going, okay, that shit's over there. What do I want to make of it? So guilt is about what you did. You can always make, what's the word? Reparation, I think is the word. You can correct me on that if I'm wrong. You know, apologize to people. Make it up to people. You know, if you deliberately did something shitty and you want to fix it, fix it. Say sorry, whatever. Like, it's okay. But if you've got stuff on shame, this is where you start working on your identity. This is where you make the decision to go, you know what? In that moment, I was doing the best I could. Chances are the people around me were doing the best I could. It's that whole thing, hanging on to a hot coal to punish somebody else. Like, that doesn't work. Time to drop it and let it go, my friends. Like the sound effect? Let it go. But you know what? Like, I did a lot of study and a lot of work around this to be able to get to the point to be like going, oh my God, it's not hard. So if you need help, reach out. I'm launching alignment today. If you're like seriously thinking you want to work with me and really get this shit sorted, you want to fast track it, you want all of the tools to make it like fun and easy and bring grace and joy and happiness into your life in a way that you never thought possible, I'm here. But this wasn't about being a shameless plug for alignment, even though, of course, I plugged it. But I spent most of my life fucking miserable because I didn't know how to let go of shame. And I didn't realize it could be easy. It can be as easy or as difficult as you want it to be. So start, just dropped my pen. So start with your identity. Start with your I am statements. Start filtering for lessons out of there. If you need to let go of guilt, apologize. Take an action that shows that, you know, you've learned and you've grown. We have this moment now, and this moment now creates your future. And I believe in you. Yes, I believe in you. You can be happy and you can live an amazing life. We live in an abundant universe, my friends, and we are all intrinsically worthy. But sometimes we forget. All right, peace out, my lovely people. If you want to know more about alignment, message me. It's going to be super awesome. I can't wait to run it because this year, 2019, you know, 5 years ago, this year would have absolutely broken me and would have had me running for razors to start cutting myself again. It was atrocious. There were so many things going on behind the scenes, which you don't need to know. It's all good. But I used everything I knew to process it and get to a heck of a lot quicker. If I can do it, so can you. Anyway, love your work. Here's to 2020. Here's to 2020 starting now. All right. Peace out. Bye.